What's up, Pogue?
Poachers.
Oh, hell, come on. It's past midnight. Don't you think it's a little late to be out?
Never too late, not for poachers. They kill what they want when they want. You know, they'd kill every animal on God's green earth if they had a chance. Hop in.
Where are we going?
Bull camp.
I never heard of it.
Near the Nevada border. Should make it by daybreak. Well, Pogue, Idaho Fish and Game. What are you doing here?
We're just doing a little trapping.
I'm citing you for illegal baiting and trapping out of season. Sign these, please.
Look, mister...
If you refuse to sign, I will place you under arrest and transport you immediately to the county jail in Murphy. Well, gentlemen?
Where do we sign?
Morning, Bill. Conley?
We just got two of them, Ed. Where's this other fella?
Bull Camp down the river. You'll have to take the trail down.
Right.
Bill, I think you ought to know. He carries a .357 Magnum.
Much obliged.
I told him the fish and game people might come down on him someday.
Yeah, what'd he say?
Well,
What?
he said he'd be ready for him. Believe me, I wouldn't turn your back on him.
George?
It's me, Jim Stevens. George couldn't make it. Gave me his gun to signal you with. Got you some groceries and stuff, and there's more in the blazer on the rim.
You got any fruit? I've been eating on venison for days.
Sure, got you some fruit, and my wife fixed you up some brownies.
What's that?
Oh, it's a metal detector. See if I can find me some pioneer artifacts. Maybe some arrowheads. That all right?
Help yourself. Look, why don't you go on down? I'll pick up the rest of the things.
Right, Claude.
Jim, we got company.
I'll take that.
You fellas from Boise?
Idaho Fish and Game.
Guess we're pretty close to the border here. Guess we're still in Idaho, though.
Driving license? You've been taking deer out of season. What's in the tent?
Can't we just talk this over for a moment?
There's nothing to talk about. Look in the tent.
Wait a minute.
You have been trapping out of season. Illegal hikes.
I'm living 100 miles for anything, and I haven't seen a search warrant.
I don't have a search warrant, and I don't need one.
Well, you're gonna take me in?
Yeah, that's right. Come on, let's go.
No, I got my mules here. I got all my animals here. I'm not going anywhere.
Why, Claude?
They were gonna take me in. I swore I'd never be arrested.
God.
We're gonna have to get rid of the bodies.
What?
They're lawmen. Don't you see? They're lawmen.
Where's the other one?
It's too heavy. Had to leave them down by the stream. You're gonna find them for sure. murder one now.
What's that you got?
Game badge. 16 years. How could anyone be a game officer for 16 years? They had no business, Jim. They had no business coming into my camp like that. Who the hell does the government think they are, telling me what I can trap, when I can trap, where I can trap? Deer don't go by their law. Bobcats don't go by their law. Why the hell should I? We got our own laws up here.
I know how you think that way, but...
But what?
I think I'm gonna be sick.
Gotta keep you out of this.
How?
Just say you stayed up on the rim. You never got down to the camp. You fired a signal shot. You got no response, so you went on home.
Sure, that's great, except for one thing. My footprints are all over that whole country down there.
All right. You went on down, you left the supplies, and then you went on home.
I told my wife I'd be gone for 3 days.
Well, tell her you couldn't find me, so you just left the supplies.
Claude.
You saw the fish and game truck, and you just didn't want to get mixed up.
Claude, it just doesn't sound realistic.
Gotta have a story. Don't worry. We'll figure out something.
What about him?
Well, I'll get rid of him. I'm gonna bury him.
Where?
I was thinking of
No,
that.
don't tell me. I don't want to know.
They had it coming, Jim. Now, I may have done a sloppy job, but they deserved it. I was just protecting myself.
Where are we headed now?
Nielsen's.
Yeah, of course. He'll treat you right. You like a son to George. Got your first job there, didn't you?
No. No, I worked Oregon first. Alvord Ranch. Made me a buckaroo. That was long before. Long, long time ago.
Hey, wanna live?
Thanks.
Where are you headed?
Alvord Ranch?
Well, you're on it. But it's another 15 miles to the house.
Thank you.
You know anyone there?
No?
Well, good luck. Afternoon, ma'am.
Yes?
I'm looking for the foreman.
Oh?
I'm looking for a job.
Oh, I see. I How'd you get here?
I walked. From Burns?
That's 48 miles.
Yes, ma'am. I don't mean to be a bother, but if you could just point me...
Hoyt! It's my son, Hoyt. This young man's looking for a job. You'll excuse me?
Thank you.
Jake! Where are you from?
Well, I was raised mostly in Ohio, but I've always wanted to come west. Met a rancher down in Santa Fe. He told me about this place up on the edge of nowhere. Said it was the most beautiful spot in the world. And, no, it sure is that, sir. He was right.
You ever handle cattle?
And no, sir. But that's what I want, more than anything.
Come all the way from Ohio to be a buckaroo.
Yes, sir. That's about it.
What do you think, Jake? We could use a hand. Take him over to the bunkhouse, fix him up.
Thank you, sir. I can't thank you enough.
Lights.
Hmm?
Up ahead there. Look. Must be headlights.
Stop the car. Look, I'm getting out. You go on driving. If it's the law, don't give them any cause to shoot. Just say I held a gun on you and that I'm out there in the sagebrush somewhere, okay?
Airplane.
Yeah. Well, what the devil are you? I thought you guys. What's going on? Well?
We, had a couple visitors.
Huh?
Game wardens. Came to the camp. Had to dust them.
You what?
Killed him, George. Killed him.
It was justifiable homicide,
Oh.
George.
Good. God, Claude!
Fellow named Bill Pogue. Did you know him?
Heard of him.
I don't know the other fella's name. Pogue's in the back of Jim's blazer.
Here? You brought him here?
Left the other one back at the camp. Had to. Gonna need your pickup, George. Could you gas it up for me?
You want to borrow my pickup?
To get rid of the body.
All right. Blood.
What's that?
There's blood all over your clothes.
Claude?
I guess we're gonna have to... We'll have to burn them, I guess.
What in God's name?
They had guns, Liz, that they kept threatening me.
We don't want any trouble, Claude. But we'll help you if we can.
I'll need a pick and a shovel.
In the shed, I'll gas up the pickup.
Stevens had nothing to do with this, okay?
You got any clothes here?
The blazer.
You better get them. You can shower in the house.
Keep on going, all along the old fence line. It's rusted out.
How far did I go?
That as far as you can see.
No use. Broken. Let's go.
Where?
Back to ranch.
What about the fencing?
Well, still up there, doing the whole thing himself. 3 days now. Jake, looks like we got ourselves a hand.
I'll get cleaned up now. And if I could, some food.
Yeah.
Where will you go?
I'm gonna need some money.
Sure.
And if you could, well, could you take me down the road a ways?
Sure.
Hey. Sorry for this, George. You've always treated me fair and square. You're gonna be wearing a lot of heat.
Yeah.
Turn right.
Here. $100 is all I got tonight.
George,
Yeah, don't say anything. It's all right.
Steady! This ain't no rodeo. Where'd that come from? Kids. Keeps it around all the time. Know how to use it? You can use it. Stay with him, Hoppy! Well, someday, you might even have a buckaroo. Writing home.
sending for something.
A Winchester?
Kind of special. It's a Centennial 30-30 with a hexagonal barrel.
You really fancy firearms, don't you?
I used to hunt with my dad.
Where?
Ohio. Ran some trap lines, too. Coons and muskrats, mostly.
Trapping ain't no life for me.
Beats working inside. Hell, anything beats working inside.
Jim! Where are you going?
Just going up the road.
You gonna tell me what really happened yesterday?
What?
I don't believe for one moment you just changed your mind about staying with Claude.
Sandy.
You made it up.
You got $5 even, Murph.
Here you are, George.
Thank you.
See you then.
Here's your gun. One you gave me to signal Claude with. Box of shells, too. You clear out?
Yeah. You gonna stick to your story?
Have to.
Yeah. Well, see you.
What's that for? Jim! What's wrong with you this morning?
I don't want to get you involved, but
What?
I just can't hold it back any longer. It's driving me crazy. Yesterday, I was up there at bull camp. He killed 2 game officers. Right there. Right in front of me. No yelling, no big fight. He just shot him. One of them we left up there. The other we put in the blazer and drove to Nielsen's. That's why there's blood.
Why?
He claims it was self-defense, but I didn't see what went on first, only part of it. Look here, I can't go on like pretending that nothing happened.
Of course you can't. We'll get down to Winnemucca. We'll tell the authorities.
Oh, we better get us a lawyer first. And, well, I gotta let George know, George and Liz. I don't want the authorities to suddenly come sweeping down on them.
finish up. I'll get my coat.
Now, just a minute. Did you actually see this man, Dallas, firing at the game officers?
I did. I turned just in time to see it.
You didn't do anything to stop it?
It all happened too fast. It was over before I knew it.
Why'd you help him out afterwards?
Claude Dallas. He's always been a true friend. And, well, maybe I am a little afraid of him sometimes. I guess I figured people would understand.
What? You're helping him? Excuse me. Just where the hell is Bull Camp?
Well, it's up on the border, but I'm pretty sure it's Idaho. There's nothing much there.
Well, if it is Idaho, then Idaho's got jurisdiction. Damn it. Double homicide. God only knows where the killer is by now.
Bull camp? No, I don't think so. Well, I think I know about every inch of that county, but I don't recall any bull camp. Thank you, Louise. Well, it's got to be on the Wahi River. Yeah. Well, first I'll check the South Fork. Right. You bet.
Standing just about right there when the shooting started. 3 of them, they were right over there in front of the tent.
Cleaned up the camp before he left.
Now, here he always kept a clean camp, but what he did was to try to burn off the blood stains.
Find him? Not yet. This is Michael Elms. His brother was one of the game wardens.
Cole called me first. I wasn't home, so he called my brother.
Sorry, Mr. Elms. I'm truly sorry.
This is Jim Stevens. We've got a couple of dozen men down the river, down below us here searching, and hell, the FBI is doing their damnedest. We've even got the Winnemucca Sheriff's Department, the Idaho Police.
What about Dallas?
Nothing yet. He just plain disappeared. Look, Michael, it's not going to be easy. From what I understand, Dallas knows every cave and gopher hole in the Northwest. He's a tough little turkey. It's going to take time, but we'll get him. We'll get him.
Going up to Grass Creek. Thanks very much.
Michael, you don't want to see this.
Jake, is Mr. Wilson in the house?
They're at dinner.
Thanks.
Excuse me.
Claude?
I hate to bother you, sir, but, well, the thing is, I better be leaving.
Why? Is something wrong? If it's a matter of salary,
Oh, no. It's not money.
After 2 years, just walk out?
Best move on.
And you can't tell me why?
Because I want to keep doing what I'm doing, I suppose.
Claude, that doesn't make much sense.
Yes, sir. I know, sir. I'm sorry, but well, that's about it, though. Could I buy a couple buckskins from you? I need a couple good horses for my gear.
Where will you go?
I don't know. Nevada, maybe.
Well, talk to Jake about the buckskins. You tell him you need good horse flesh.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for everything. I really mean that.
You take care.
You too. Ma'am.
About the draft board, ain't it?
Yeah, they've got me 1A. They're really after me, Jake. Putting the FBI on me and everything. Gonna have to clear out. I never could stand being told what to do. I'm gonna need to borrow a couple buckskins.
Going over and pick out what you need. And look here, if they come snooping around the ranch, I don't know nothing. I never heard of you.
Thanks, Jake. I don't know what else to say. Thank you.
We all know Bill Polk loved his work. Now, I know to some people Bill was considered gruff sometimes, but I can promise you he was dedicated to the cause of wildlife preservation. It was fitting that he died in Owyhee County, for he knew it well and loved it more than any other place. He was deeply sensitive and had a great love of family, of his wife Dee, and his children, Kathy, Jody, Linda, Steve. A good man. He and Conley Elms were both good men. And the way I see it, the Lord needed a couple of good officers, and he picked two of the best. The very best. He kept a lot of his stuff in this little trailer out here. I'm not sure exactly what, but you fellas are free to look around for yourself. There you go.
Look at this stuff. This guy could have started his own army.
Yep. The man liked guns. But then who doesn't?
Stevens saw the whole thing. He was right there. He even helped Dallas to escape.
I know.
Well, he's in your jurisdiction. You mean to say you're not going to arrest him?
I can't. The district attorney isn't going to press any charges.
Well, what about the Nielsen's? They burned his clothes. They gave him money to get away. You gonna let them walk off scot-free?
The DA claims that they acted under coercion and duress. Tim, he's not going to prosecute.
Then you're sending out a message loud and clear. There's a different kind of law in cow country.
Right along here somewhere. It's dark, I can't be sure, but I dropped him off at Sand Pass Road here.
Right here in the middle of nowhere?
That's right.
He didn't say where he was going.
He didn't say much of anything, except...
Yeah?
He said they had it coming.
He called this one Cowboy and Bird.
See, I'm no art critic, but these are remarkable.
Yeah. Well, you know, Bill lost the sight of an eye in a camping accident, so he had to use a magnifying glass to draw. Yeah, and then only in 15-minute periods.
Certainly good enough to put in any gallery.
His drawings embarrassed him, even with the family. I mean, a lot of them just got thrown out. Oh, here, look at this. It's called The Trapper. Just look at those eyes. He sort of expresses how Bill felt about men like that. He'd draw Indians, animals, everything that lived on the land, except the land itself. He never felt worthy of it. You know, sometimes he would stop his pickup just to watch a sunset or listen to the thunder, look at the trees. Sorry. You know, when I think now how Bill used to say that no animal on earth could be so wanton or destructive as man. Claude Dallas certainly proved him right.
Dee, if you need anything, if I can help.
You can find my husband, Tim. You can find where that man buried Bill.
Mr. Chappell?
Yes, ma'am. Jack Chappell.
What kind of work are you looking for?
Most anything.
Well, there are several openings at the steel plant.
The steel plant.
Mm-hmm, pipeline. That's all we have at the moment.
Yes, ma'am. I'll take it. Thank you.
Thank you.
How you doing, Ed?
Tim, you have any luck?
Not yet.
5 months.
I know, Ed. We've had hundreds of people, volunteers, out looking for you, brother.
Most of these people I talk to, they just clam up. They don't even want to talk about this.
You can't pressure them, Ed. You got to talk to them about the weather. What's the market on beef?
No, something more. These people really got it in for game office.
It's the government telling them what they can and they can't do. Like grazing regulations, trapping regulations. People feel the government's just bleeding them dry and taking away all their liberties.
One of them even told me my brother got what he deserved. Now, he said that to my face. They're wrong, you know. They're dead wrong about Bill. My brother loved the wilderness more than Dallas ever could. You ever been up around Canashy Reservoir?
Sure I have.
We were camping out there once, springtime. We traveling real light. We just finished breakfast.
There's a deer over there by the stream. Let's take a look. Easy, baby, easy. Hip shot. Still alive. Poachers. God knows where they are by now. There aren't many things on God's earth a man won't do for money.
There's that much money in poaching.
$100 million a year. They'll kill anything that sells. They'll tear the claws out of a baby bear. A falcon may bring as much as $80,000. Even coyotes, rattlesnakes all have a price.
Who are they?
They come in all kinds of disguises. Salmon snaggers, farmers, cougar butchers, ranchers, doctors, lawyers, you name it. The only way you can catch a poacher is catch him red-handed. And I'm gonna catch every damn last one of them.
So I don't want to hear about Claude Dallas and what kind of mountain man he is. I'll tell you what he is. He's a parasite who's lived off people all over the state of Nevada. I, for one, am never giving up. Not till I see Claude Dallas executed.
Staying late?
Yeah, this stuff. Looks like an arsenal. Yeah, 7 rifles. AR-18, 10 handguns, gas masks, thousands of rounds of ammo. We found this in this stuff over here.
No second place winner?
It's a book on combat shooting. Hit draws, cross draws, fast draws. In a gunfight, there are no second place winners. That's the message. That's Claude Dallas. He's what I call a romantic paranoid.
Paranoid?
He's read too many survival books, too many Western novels. That's what led him to bull camp.
It's a wonder they never drafted him.
They tried. He got out of it.
Tim, you don't suppose there's a chance that this might have been self-defense?
Not a chance.
Why?
Well, in the first place, Pogue was blind in his right eye. He might have carried a gun, but he was a lousy shot. No, there's no way he would have pulled first on a draw like Dallas. I never heard of him firing on anyone.
Yeah, but his reputation. I mean, I hear he even arrested a preacher once.
Sure he would if he broke the law. But I remember one morning I went out with him. We found this old man's cabin in the woods, and we got him cold. He had the deer meat hanging right by his door.
You understand, of course, I'm going to have to cite you.
Huh?
You bagged a deer out of season.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, that's what I did. I wouldn't be standing here otherwise. Berries, you know.
Berries?
Berries and roots. I was starving, going down fast, when the good Lord come along with this here deer. Thank the Lord. Praise the Lord, I'm still here.
I'll tell you what, old man, I'm going to forget that we saw this. But if you ever tell anybody I turned you loose, you're in big trouble.
Praise the Lord.
I never told that story till tonight.
Well, there's no doubt Dallas is a different situation. You suppose he went back to Ohio?
Well, the FBI's keeping a lookout there. We've had reports in from all over the place, and none of them worth a damn. The only thing that I can guarantee, he's in the northern half of the Western Hemisphere. Let's get out of here.
You know something, that Sharps? You could deliver up a lot of wild horse meat. Too bad the government's got a fine on it now. You plan on staying around long, Claude?
Bought a tent.
Huh?
Gonna go off by myself for a while.
Where?
Up Idaho way. Saw a place called Bull Camp. Do some trapping.
Out of season?
Well, I don't figure that's anyone's business but my own.
I agree with you, but you've been sighted a lot of times, haven't you? Illegal trapping?
Come on, George, you know that don't mean nothing. Not to me. They just better not fool with me, you know?
Well, you plan on setting up camp, I'd be happy to bring supplies to you.
It's not too much trouble?
Nah, no trouble at all.
Hey, look now. Take care of yourself, Claude.
Aim to.
I kind of envy you, you know? But I guess building fences and fixing up trucks seems to be my lot in life. And we'll see you around.
Okay, Craig.
Aren't you Claude Dallas?
You worked at the Circle A?
That's right.
My brother buckarooed there. Bud Tillman. You know him?
Afraid not.
I heard George say you're going off trapping.
Yep.
You like it? Being all alone? My daddy swears he's going to someday. Says he gets choked to death by all the bureaucrats in the government telling him how to run his ranch.
Buckaroo. It ain't like it used to be. The government wants to know everything you're doing now.
You like trapping that much?
Well, I like it where nobody tells me what to do. I like waking up in the morning and it's so quiet you can hear the earth underfoot. There's nothing else human around me.
Too lonely for me.
Well, I'm not what you'd call a hermit. Still, do you live around here? I don't believe I...
Ann Tillman. Yeah.
Okay, babe.
Honey, is this full of bothering you?
No.
You want to talk to her? You talk to me first. Hey, you hear what I said?
Back off, okay?
Hey, maybe you'd like to discuss this outside.
If you like.
Yeah, I like.
Well, I think you ought to know, though. Carry a gun.
Well, let's get a beer.
Are you looking for a room? Something wrong?
No, they're looking for someone.
Who?
I murdered someone. Last night. In the bar through the archway there. Stuck a sailor with a knife. 2150 in advance.
What?
The room.
Oh. Right.
How long did you work with Dallas at the Circle A?
Oh, about a year.
You knew him pretty well?
Yeah, we knew.
Has he tried to contact you?
No.
You sure you don't know where he is right now?
If we did, you'd be the last to know.
Why do you say that?
My opinion, it was self-defense.
I'll tell you something about Bill Poe. He'd come right into your house and he'd open your freezer for a meat shake. That man would arrest his own mother.
He was just doing his job.
Oh, sure, him and that other warden. They come out over 100 miles just to give Claude Dallas a citation. No, sir. They was out to kill him.
You know Dallas got his 22 and shot him in the head after he'd already finished him. You know that, don't you?
Maybe they weren't finished. Gotta be sure. Hell, I think he was just putting them out of their misery like he would animals in a trap.
Thank you. Thanks for coming. I just got word the FBI picked up his trail in South Dakota.
Sioux Falls. He used the name of Jack Chappell with a forged social security number. He's long gone now.
How'd you make out with that couple? I felt like they were telling me to go to hell. Yeah, well, There's still some people out there who just want Claude Dallas left alone.
You know, when Butch Cassidy was robbing banks here in Winnemucca, they made him into a folk hero. Well, now we got some people that just don't think poaching's much of a crime.
They shoot deer to feed their bellies. They don't get very excited over breaking game laws.
Well, not all of them, thank God. One of them even admitted to me that he heard that Dallas hated game officers, wanted to get rid of every one of them.
Yeah, well, so far he's got 2 of them.
It's not just a matter of shooting for table. There's money in this. More and more poachers are making it more and more dangerous for game wardens. And if people can make a folk hero out of Claude Dallas, then nobody's safe.
I just wonder where the hell he is now.
Well, I'm through speculating. I'll tell you one thing. It's been a year and a half since he's gone. And as more time passes, he's going to find he'll need more friends.
Claude. Claude Dallas.
Oh, son of a gun. What the devil are you doing back here?
I need a steak. Thinking of going up to Alaska. Figured I got a few friends left around here.
Yeah, you betcha, Claude. You darn well betcha. Come on in.
Thanks.
We're going to Nevada. Come on, let's go.
What's up, Tim?
FBI got a tip on Dallas. Someone saw him.
Where?
Back where he started, Paradise Hill, Winnemucca.
Is Dallas there right now?
Come on, Phil, let's go. Move it.
In just the last month, the FBI's had some solid leads on him. We were positive he'd made his way back to Paradise Valley, so we kept undercover agents there looking for the break.
Who turned him in? I thought he had a lot of friends out there.
With a $20,000 reward, you can lose a lot of friends fast.
Where was he exactly?
Here, I'll show you. This is the valley area, and here's Nielsen's bar. Now, over here on this side of Highway 95 is what they call Poverty Flats. Now, down this road, right here, is the Carver place. We should have no trouble. Okay, the helicopter's set. All right, I want no escape routes. No options. If he is there, we're not going to lose him.
Someone outside the trailer.
Claude Dallas! Don't shoot. Don't shoot.
We're gonna have to get him to a hospital. I never thought he'd let us take him in still breathing.
Hard to figure. Why'd he come back here?
I guess like a dog you kick in the side. He runs a big wide circle, then he comes right back home. What do you think, Tim?
I think maybe now we'll find out where he buried Bill Pogue.
Tell you right now, the Bureau won't be charging Craig Carver with harboring a fugitive.
Why the hell not?
Look, we have our reasons. Besides, there are people in this town that wouldn't stand for it. You know as well as I do what public sentiment is around here.
Well, when can I get Claude Dallas out of Reno?
You've got him, Sheriff. From now on, he's in your custody.
Mr. Dallas, I'm Tim Nettleton, Sheriff of Hawaii County. We're going to take you back to Idaho now to stand trial. Are you going to give us any trouble? Let's look at it this way. From now on, I don't have to worry about your friends. You're going to have to worry about mine. Let's go.
Tim?
Yeah?
Where is he?
He's locked up tight.
Has he told you where he buried my brother?
No, Ed, he hasn't. There's no way we can force it.
Do you mind if I inspected your jail?
Ed, you know I can't do that.
Look, I'm not going to grill him. I just want to look at him. I've waited a long time.
What are you carrying?
I'm not carrying anything.
Okay, Phil.
Lucky fella. You're a real lucky fella. Damn good thing that they caught you, not me.
Who are you?
Any statement, Mrs. Pogue? Anything you'd like to say?
Move ahead.
Mrs. Helms, do you have any statement to make?
Go ahead.
All rise. The District Court in and out of Canyon County is now in order. The Honorable Edward Lodge presiding. Please come to order and be seated.
People of the state of Idaho versus Claude Lafayette Dallas, Jr. Are the people ready?
people are ready?
Is the defense ready?
The defense is ready.
As the nearest neighbor of Mr. Dallas at Bull Camp, did you have occasion to visit him?
Once.
Did any conversation arise concerning fish and game?
Yes, it did.
And you recall what was said?
I told Dallas that the fish and game warden generally came into the area every year to check us out. I said they'd probably visit him.
And what did Dallas say?
He said, all right, I'll be ready for him.
Did you see Bill Pogue point his gun at the defendant at any time?
No. Bear in mind, this all happened so fast. I don't know what happened first.
Did you see either officer shooting?
No, I didn't.
Did you see either officer point a gun at the defendant?
No. No, I didn't.
Now, would you mind telling me when they're going to put Dallas on the stand? He still has not said where my brother's buried.
He will. He'll have to. His life will be at stake when he gets on that witness stand.
Who are these ladies?
You haven't heard? Friends of his around Paradise Hill. They call themselves the Dallas Cheerleaders. Don't worry, Mr. Pogue. There are still plenty of people around who want to see justice done.
Well, I hope to God they're on the jury.
Mr. Donnelly?
The defense would call Claude Dallas to the stand.
Raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Now, what exactly did you do at the Outboard Ranch?
Well, I worked into being a buckaroo.
What is buckarooing?
Just a man doing his job, working with livestock on horseback.
Now, what was the reason you left it?
Yeah, it was time to move on. In my opinion, cow outfits were going to hell.
Did you encounter Bill Pogue once before?
Not in person. When I was trapping up at Star Valley, he left me a note with his name on it.
You recall what it said?
It said, "I'll check you later."
What'd you think about that?
I thought it was a hell of a way to introduce yourself.
Now, when you got your camp in order, there at Bull Camp, you say you hung up some meat.
I took 3 deer to get me through the winter.
Do you know if the deer season was open at that time in Idaho?
No. No, it's not open that late in the year. It's not something I'm ashamed of. Man's got to eat. You either eat venison or you eat beef. And I didn't want any of the ranchers to have to... Well, I've never killed another man's beef. Catching a cold.
Okay, now, let's go back to the morning that Pogue and Mr. Elms arrived. Now, you say first that Jim Stevens came to visit you, and you met him on the trail. What happened then?
Well, Jim went down to the camp with some of the supplies, and I went back up to his blazer to get the rest.
Were you carrying guns at that time?
I was carrying 2. As I got over the rim, I saw 2 men approaching me.
Bill Pogue, Idaho Fish and Game.
Claude Dallas.
I'm going to check your camp.
Well, I've got some meat hung up. This rig here don't belong to me. It's a friend visiting. All I've got is a couple mules. Look, fellas, my camp's open. You're welcome there. But if you've come maybe 150 miles just to give me a citation, well, I can't quite see it.
I'm going to tell you something right now, Dallas. Nobody, I don't care who it is, nobody within my jurisdiction breaks the game laws. Can you understand that?
Well, sure.
If you want to get along with me, I wouldn't argue the point. Now, we're going to inspect your camp.
Well, if you don't mind, I'll just pack up a few supplies, and then we'll head on down. Aren't you being just a little bit out of line?
Let's go.
Jim? Jim, we got company.
Wait a minute. What are you carrying? What's under your arm?
Shoulder rig.
Hand me the gun. Butt first.
I emptied my gun. That's correct.
After emptying your pistol, did you attempt to determine the extent of Bill Pogue's wounds?
No.
Or Conley Elms?
No.
In fact, you went immediately into your tent and got your rifle. Which one did you go after first?
I have no idea.
How close were you?
I have no idea.
Did you feel in any way threatened?
I really can't tell you what I felt. As I said, I was a little out of my head at that point.
Mr. Dallas, did you not think it would have been easier if you and Jim Stevens had gone to the authorities and told them what happened?
No, and I still don't think so. Not with the lynch mob attitude the state has tried to cultivate here. I think that would have been suicide.
Did you want to or intend to kill Bill Pogue or Conley Elms?
All I wanted to do was to keep those men from killing me. I responded in the only way I could to stop them from killing me.
He's lying. There's not a damn word of truth in anything he says. He's trying to put my brother on trial.
Kid, it's not a question of whether he's lying or not. It's a question of whether the jury believed him.
By God, he murdered my brother. There's no two ways about that.
The law says there's more than two. There's always manslaughter.
You think he'd get away with just manslaughter?
I don't know, Ed. I've never been able to predict a jury.
All right. Court is now in session. Be seated.
Have you reached a verdict?
We have, Your Honor. We, the jury, on count 1 and count 2, find the defendant guilty of voluntary manslaughter.
What else can I say? This verdict clearly cheapens and jeopardizes the lives of all police officers. It means their lives are now expendable.
It's open season, that's what the hell it is. It's open season on all game officers, and they've just been told that today. You don't like your citation, just put a hole in the game warden, no problem.
Well, Tim, looks like Nevada's got itself a brand new folk hero.
Like hell it does. He hasn't been sentenced yet. The judge still has some leeway.
What do you think he's gonna do?
Well, like I always say about jury verdicts, I can't predict that.
You know, when you think about it, Dallas and Pogue, they were both born 100 years too late.
2 peace officers lost their lives in the performance of their duties. The person who loved freedom more than most of us, because of the way he lived, has lost that freedom. Mr. Dallas, I feel in my heart that you know you've been given a fair trial. The jury has found it intentional and unlawful killing of a human being. True, it was without malice, and could have come upon a sudden quarrel, that is, the definition of manslaughter. I can tell you sincerely that I do not believe the issue of self-defense arose at Bull Camp. It's contrary to common sense that peace officers would attempt to shoot anyone over a misdemeanor. It's my judgment that you drew and fired your gun at Mr. Pogue before he ever drew his gun. Your actions were motivated by your own desire for freedom, as opposed to any actual threat to life and limb. You buried Mr. Pogue's body in a shallow grave, knowing that would not be sufficient. You left no word of his whereabouts, knowing the kind of pain and suffering that would come to his family. The court finds the killing of Mr. Pogue totally unjustified, and that you be sentenced to the Idaho State Board of Corrections for an indeterminate period of time, not to exceed 10 years, which is the maximum allowed by law. For the killing of Mr. Elms, you were sentenced to a period not to exceed 10 years and to be run consecutively. The act of shooting the 2 officers in the head was atrocious and outrageous, and you were sentenced to a 3rd period of time not to exceed 10 years. I did not like to play God. I did not like to fix 30 years, regardless of what the situation is. But I cannot justify any lesser sentence for the taking of a human life.
Somewhere in the mountains, where the tree line meets the snow, spirit of the old West Heights, no place left to go. 2 men lay dead at Bull Camp, one lived to take the blame. Was once a hunter, now he's the hunted, and Claude Dallas is his name. Well, Claude Dallas is a mountain man, born 100 years too late. More at home in the wilderness than with men who lie and hate. But he killed 3 deer out of season to last him through the snow. When the warden came to take him in, Claude Dallas would not go.
Ed, you leaving in the morning?
I'm getting out of here tonight. Packing up and clearing out. Thanks to your Idaho jury.
They gave him 30 years.
30 years, nothing. More like good behavior, 10 years. I'll tell you one thing. If he does get parole, he better sleep with his eyes open.
I'll see you. And he did not understand how they could search without a warrant. And now there's blood on the Idaho sand, and there's no second place winners.
What do you think, Tim? You ever gonna get a parole?
No way, he's too dangerous. He'll always be dangerous. No matter how you slice it, he's a killer, but you know...
Know what?
You get a wolf or a mountain lion in a trap, sometimes he'll chew his leg off to get free. That's Claude Dallas. He'll always be looking toward the mountain, toward the snow line. He'll go for it. Give him the slightest chance, he'll get free.
Claude Dallas, they want you locked in a cold jail cell. Only the mountain